it's a really fun fidget piece to have on your desk or around. You can have your little Punisher
There she is.
Punisher around. So yeah.
Yeah, that was mine too.
Well,
RPG.
It's a good thing Andrew doesn't hold grudges.
wait.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of the Gun Rack SDI's podcast about everything firearms industry. I'm Christian Sequeira, your event coordinator and host here, and I am joined as always by Steve Ross, Director of Marketing. How's it going, Steve?
Hey, Christian, good to see you.
How's the week? Heard you went on a cruise.
Just got back from vacation, so I got a really nice tan. Of course, this time of year is always kind of strange. It's like that in between the last show we just did. Now we're starting to shift over, getting prepped for SHOT Show coming up in January. We're going into hunting season, so we go watch that episode if you haven't already to get prepared for it. We're getting into Halloween and all the holidays, so it's kind of a nice way to finish out the rest of the year. Is the end of the year is in our sights.
Now, you went on a Disney cruise. I know this has nothing to do with guns, but how was the Disney cruise? It seems
wonderful. I always tell people I am one of those Disney people. I go with my children because they want to go. I am not a Disney adult. There were plenty of those on the cruise, though. So very weird watching those people, but amusing.
Yeah, if you're a Disney adult and a gun adult, put it in the comments. I wanna meet you.
If you're a Disney adult and if you're a Disney adult and a gun owner enthusiast, like, how do you make money? Where does it all go? Like, because it is expensive to do both sometimes.
Anyway, so we've got two awesome guests. Like my mom would say, they're two pretty cool dudes who do cool things and work with cool stuff. We've got Chase and Andrew from GoatGuns. How's it going, guys?
Hey, Christian, Steve, how are y'all guys doing?
Hello. Good to see you guys. Excellent. I feel like I see like GoatGuns on desk and shelves everywhere I go now. And like people just like light up when they want to talk about them.
They should be on every desk, every shelf, every gaming console. They should exist on your family mantle everywhere.
And the fact that you said that means we're doing our job pretty well, which is good.
Right. Yeah.
That makes us feel good.
You should be able to just pick one up, have one at your disposal at any time for the ultimate fidget fun. So
yeah, I want to hear more
when
about
you say fidget fun for folks who don't know, explain what a goat gun is.
So in the simplest terms, like, cause we get it all the time, they're metal, they're not plastic. They're die-cast models, so they don't fire. They do everything, but they're basically Hot Wheels cars for gun guys. So they've got moving actions, stocks fold, bullets eject. I mean, we've got the gambit. We've got almost 40 different models available on our site. So things like one of our latest models, the STG 44. And I mean, we've got,
crazy,
mag releases. We've got little tiny dummy rounds that come with them.
Can we turn this podcast to like an ASMR podcast? Just
like
really
real
close to the
quick.
mic.
Yeah, listen.
That's what we're recording in about an hour. So we'll
good.
Hey, I'm about to say it is. So for the space, we're the miniature models. We're the what's next after you've got your gun safe fill. That's where we kind of fit in. And you can't bring your AR-15 to work with you, but you may be able to bring a little 1/3 scale model to your desk or onto your bookshelf, or if you're a veteran and you have a display of your flag or your medals, our M1 Grands, our service rifles and things go incredibly well with all those displays. And
or just matching your favorite COD weapon.
Yeah, we've got countless skins that we're doing all the time to kind of hit that crowd. So we've just got a lot of demographics we cover, but at the heart and soul of it, we are die-cast models for the gun enthusiast.
I never thought about Hot Wheels. Yeah. Go ahead.
If when you meet Christian in person and see how his stature is, those are actually all goat guns on the wall behind him.
Yeah, exactly. I am 2'7", so for those who don't know.
I was gonna say I love you guys' setup. I wasn't gonna make fun of
Absolutely.
you or anything. That was a
I
bold move.
want that cool Goat Guns thing, but like SDI, like I just have this weird car magnet behind me that I try to hide, but
Yeah, I just have
cool.
cameras.
But your Goat Guns thing,
Now
Steve,
you
put it in
got.
the budget.
I was about to say, with what you guys do, it sounds like you need to be shipping all your students a little goat gun for them to start working on.
I mean,
Because our internals are pretty crazy. Like our AR-15, if you were to strip it nuts and bolts, it'd be 123 parts
really?
exactly. Yeah. So and we're getting better and better with each model. Our M17 that we did with SIG, when the engineering squad tore it apart, just about piece for piece from the real thing, tears down the same way. Hammer or striker like works the same way. Everything. So.
Explain. So you explained that to me at the booth when we were at Goals, but explain the process of getting a firearm approved by the actual manufacturer.
So with a lot of those guys, we're licensed with them. So we work with them. We get the approval, and then we go into basically 3D creation mode of trying to take what they have created and scaling it down. And then obviously after 3D creation goes into 3D printing to get a workable, somewhat workable. And then we get into the mold phase where we've got to get a mold that all these little intricate parts, at a third scale work together to do the few things that we want them to do, like folding stocks, like cycling actions, the magazines just the right way. And then it goes into the mass production side of things. So it's about a 18-month to 24-month process from start to finish to get these things to operate.
And that's what breaks our heart when we because all we see on social media, all of our comments are basically like, hey, make this gun. And it's like, we would love to, but the process takes so much time. It really does, because we put in a lot of work to make them good. So they do take a lot of time, and it's like, we will get to those models. I promise we will get to them. But it's just like, yeah, I want that model too, Are you guys like just like walking encyclopedias for like gun diagrams now at this point?
We've got a lot of them. There are a lot that exist now. Obviously, me and Andrew do not, but like our specialists to it will have a lot of 3D files and have all the intricacies. And then our engineering team obviously is our most in depth at like what they have access to and what they have to, and they have to create some of it obviously to like scale down properly, because not everything works perfectly, and we're getting better at it because our early models, we didn't really have all the functionality that we do now with like, like I said, our STG or like our like latest like skeletonized AR. It's now like shell ejecting, something we didn't do on the original AR-15 we created. So
Going back to the design phase, will those manufacturers share, proprietary schematics with you, or are you having to scan parts? What is that process?
yeah, that's kind of how we're having to go through it, is like scan parts and go through it that way. And then they will approve like what we've got. So yeah, they've got their process and we've got our process on our end, just to make sure we're getting it as accurate as possible, to what they would want the public to have their hands on. So yeah, I think we've got a sweet spot of how we're doing that with our partners that we've had and our partners coming forwards.
How did you guys join up with Goat Guns? I know you guys had your own thing for a while, and then tell us that story.
So Chase and I, we worked on a channel called Nukazooka for several years. It was kind of our main thing, where we would upload essentially 2 to 3 minute cinematic videos about video games, usually
Masterpieces, cinematic masterpieces.
I wasn't gonna say it. But anyway, we were just having a ton of fun with that. And Brad, the head honcho of GoatGuns, saw our videos, and he reached out to us, and he was like, hey, I love what you guys do. I love your style, and I want to make GoatGuns cool, essentially. And I think that you guys can do that. So it just kind of went from there. We're besties with Brad now. Our team is very tight knit. We're there's just a few of us.
Yeah, we
So
got 5 full-time
Mhm.
employees plus part-time employees. So we're a very, very small group.
And then the elves, right?
And then the
Yeah, of
elves,
course.
man.
Yeah.
Hey, listen,
Yeah.
those small parts don't get inside those models willingly.
What are your official roles now at GoatGuns?
We're the marketing content creation team. So that's where we live. We do all the advertising. We do all the social media, and then we're kind of responsible for anything past that, YouTube's and any videos we
Yeah, we've gone through a lot of job titles in the company. So like, at the start we were kind of just making social videos for the YouTube, and then we kind of transferred over to making advertisements, doing meta ads and all that kind of stuff. So we've it's been an amazing experience. We've learned a ton. I think the first year that we were with GoatGuns, like Chase and I at night would spend hours just looking at analytics and being like, why did that graph do that? What is going on there, and trying to figure that out. So it's been a huge learning experience too, which has been great. Yeah, trying to find that secret sauce. But
Mm-hmm.
what worked? As anyone knows who's tried or wants to sell guns on social media or learned, it's not that easy. Have you guys run into issues selling goat guns on there? Like, are they mistaken for real firearms often?
We've got to be careful with scale. We always have to keep a hand in place, because one of our favorite video type is perspective videos, where we make the go gun look real size via perspective and then walk it into the go gun size, so but those can sometimes get flagged, because in the initial view, you're just immediately like, oh, it's a gun, and then you walk in and you pick it up off the ground and it's a go gun. But yeah, no, we've, especially with our pistol models, we've got to be very careful, because those are a little bit larger scale than the rest of our models, and so I mean, back in the 60s or 70s, there's a guy who made actual guns of that size. So we do have to be a little careful, and yes, we've gotten flagged numerous times for firearms. And
I mean, just having guns in GoatGuns, the name has been a problem. So it's a really tricky thing to, because I mean, we know that we know that we have non-firing models, but the meta algorithm might not. So it's just it's such a weird kind of line to. And it gets even harder. I've seen some of the new rules say anything that even promotes firearms could be taken down.
Yeah, and like, because like we've always like tried to set up shops and stuff, and we run into constant red flag, red tape, stuff as we go through. So
Let's talk about those cinematic masterpieces, because you're doing what you did with Nukazooka for GoatGuns. Tell us, for anybody who hasn't seen it, you have to go to their socials, their Instagram, watch the YouTube, because they're putting out movies, for promotion. How involved is that? Like, talk us through that.
So I've been doing YouTube and I guess filmmaking in general for over half of my life, just teaching myself how to do it, because when I was in high school, I was like, I kind of know what I want to do. This is what interests me. I want to be able to create worlds and all of that kind of stuff. So I started on YouTube way back in the day. It started as a channel just to put effects tests on, and it just kind of spiraled. I started doing gaming videos, and people started getting interested in that, so I started following trends, and it eventually just turned into making these masterpieces, as you call them, and with our favorite video games, and just doing quirky stuff with them, and kind of thinking outside of the box, and people really attached to that. We've had some of the craziest experiences of all time. Like I've made, like we made a Lego video, and the next day someone from a producer on the Lego movie reached out, was like, hey, I saw that video, that was really cool. It's like, in what world does that happen
eh,
other
eh,
than
now, if you will go and watch the Lego video, you'll understand why. Because Andrew, now yeah, as we've said, these things take about 3 to 4 weeks to kind of come to fruition from start to finish. Lego videos take about 3 months for a 5 or 6 minute video.
Yeah, it's just all CG.
Because it's all CG. So, you know, it's a labor of love that may or may not pay off in the YouTube space. So yeah, it's a lot of fun, and the creativity. The great part is we can be as creative as we want to.
Mhm.
You know, do we want Darth Vader versus Buzz Lightyear? Sure, let's get it. We did that. You know, it's like, do we want to pit games versus each other? We've got several. You know, which shooter's better? Which MMORPG is better? Like, you know, we've done it. So it's, you know, I think one of the largest on the channel is Super Mario versus Minecraft. We pit the two main characters versus each other and let them duke it out.
Player Unknown's Battlegrounds versus Fortnite, which was also a big one. But there's this sweet spot, I feel like, of technology and just our brains as well, though. You know, the creativity. I feel like it's the creativity that got us to GoatGuns, because I think Brad saw that and he was like, I want that type of creativity for our brand too. Because if we were just doing the tech stuff, you know, CG animated Lego video with no personality or no creativity, I don't think it would have gone that direction.
Were you making like gun specific content at the same time, or is it more just like video game gun content?
Video game gun content. So kind of our initial, like, but brought it over. We did a lot of Nerf content. So in their eyes, it's like, why can't we just replace Nerf with GoatGuns and let that play out? So, you know, it's an easy transition of like going from making the Nerf bullet hit you and it be squeaky to having the GoatGun be like, oh, why do I have a tiny little gun? Like,
yeah, it was a very smooth transition when basically we saw that they were just mini guns, because that fits our brains anyway. Because one of our most popular videos as well was Grand Theft Auto, if it was rated E for everyone, and that kind of had the same concept, just like take something that's big
very
and scary,
violent,
and, you know,
and make it less scary and more accessible for everyone. And that's kind of where GoatGuns is incredible. Is it's like the least scary way to get into guns. I mean, there is absolutely, unless you got like a 3-year-old, don't give them something that's choking hazard. But other than that, for all of the adult population, it's a great way to like see how things move, see how things operate on a completely safe platform that you know 100% will not harm you. And so it's a great way to show off. And we've had people in the past take these to safety classes and use these as their safety demonstration models for people. So it was a cool transition for us, and it just made a lot of sense with kind of what we have access to.
Well, obviously a lot of our viewers are our students, and you know, you kind of know who our student base are. I don't know words. I just learned English yesterday, so.
I didn't finish high school. We're good.
But who is building these guns? Like, you mass produce them, they got to get put together. Do people have tiny hands? What kind of gunsmithing education do they have? Like, should I apply?
You know, all of our models come in build kits like this. So they'll have, you know, 10 plus parts that you're putting together. You know, this is our Barrett Mark 22. And so it's, you know, comes with a screwdriver, comes with a couple screws, very easy to put together. Most of our models are pretty easy to put together, unless you're building like the Dragunov or the AK. Those just like,
but having tiny hands is helpful. You know, you should if you can.
But no, I mean, our populace, you know, mainly adults. I mean, mainly adults that collect. I think that's the largest demographic. Veterans, they love having their service rifle that they rebuild, and they try to, because we have a lot of attachments on our website, so you can rebuild like your, you know, M4 that you had, you know, out there, your M16, you can build your, you know, you name it, you can just about build it, or you will be able to build it as we start coming out with more and more models. So yeah, our demographic is that, and then it shows, you know, it's a lot of like kids and parents. It becomes kind of like a bonding thing between the two.
have you seen or like heard of a goat gun being in a place that just like blows you away? Like you mentioned the Barrett. Like, does Ronnie Barrett have one of those on his desk type of thing? Like,
Now that's a great question. Because several, we do know that a lot of our guns float in all of the companies we work with. So we work with SIG, FN, Barrett, and Carr for the time being. We've got a couple that are on the burner right now. And yeah, I wouldn't be shocked because they're always, anytime you see Barrett at a show, they generally have a goat gun Barrett that lives in their booth. Same thing with FN, same thing with SIG when they're there. But I mean, like, we've heard Post Malone loves these things. We've heard, like there's groups that get them and we're just like, wait, what? Like
Ice-T's wife?
Yeah. Coco. She's got some. We just saw them the other day. Like they just appear and we're like, we're the only ones that do that. So that's, got to be a good one, whether announced or not. So, we aspire to be on everyone's desk at some point, but yeah, right now it's pretty cool when we do get to see it on some.
can you make us a little tiny goat gun size SDI work mat?
1,000%.
Well, how about a limited edition? We do paint jobs and stuff.
There's no doubt. Yeah, I mean that's a thing that we're getting to more and more is these runs of 600 limited editions, where custom colorway or something like that, and like we're about to announce our latest Halloween edition this evening. So that'll be a very popular.
What if I reveal it on the podcast?
I mean,
I do have it.
I mean, you might as well. This podcast won't be live until after it's announced.
That's true.
Exactly.
But
I'm very slow, so you obviously know my slow editing process.
Like yesterday, we released our thin blue line SWAT AR-15. So again, we just try to, sometimes it's a tribute, sometimes it's just a fun, like last year we did a scar that was done in a donut paint job. We had a scar at the end of the year that was done in a Ghostbuster kind of theme. So, we just have a lot of fun with things. But yeah, hey, bring it up and I'll pass it along. Well, you never know what we could collaborate with.
So these limited runs I used to be a sneakerhead.
Yeah.
Are goat guns selling for $400, limited run?
So that's a great question. We actually will have a model that's unannounced yet, but it's a custom. These ones we do custom. This other one will be a custom that someone else has done for us, and it will sell upwards of $200 stock, like out the box. Now, if we're talking about because our limiteds we sell for the same price as we sell the base model for, but then once it sells out, which generally happens in about a week, 600 take about a week to sell out. Although some of our recent ones have sold out in a day. But they generally will jump up 2 to 3x on eBay. Some models, I think I saw one of our models from 3 years ago go for 800 on Monday this week. So,
That's
that
crazy.
was, yeah. And it's crazy because most of these models range anywhere between $40 and $100. So you're talking an exponential jump.
And that just goes to show like we have this page on Facebook called the GoatGuns Addicts, and man, the people who like goat guns, they love goat guns. They go crazy for goat guns. It's really cool to see. There's 7,000 members or so on there, and they're just all about it. They'll post their custom skins whenever we release a limited edition. They're like, got mine, and then it'll be like 100 posts of that. It's cool to see. It's cool to see just how
I was just
dedicated
going to ask
they're
if
gonna
you
be.
guys had a special name for goat gun enthusiast community, like goaties, goat lovers,
Yeah, that is funny. But yeah, the GoatGun Addicts group would probably be the closest thing we have to a rabid fan base that we get to that's the place where we really get to interact. Those people would probably love what y'all do because they're big time customizers. Stripping paint, polishing, they'll polish our blacks down to full chrome, all the way throughout. And they take time custom engraving and all kinds of stuff through the GoatGuns. So
is that customization part
something you guys like, or is it a challenge? Like, oh, people seeing that and like, oh, that's cool, the potential, or is like, oh, now people are asking for you to make that, but you can't. Like,
we really, there's been maybe a few models that get asked for after someone makes them, but generally speaking, people just appreciate other people's work. It's just like in any space when someone does something really cool, custom, they just appreciate all the hard work because they've done it to some extent on their own. And so that's kind of what the group is. People get to see like that took hours, especially on, this scale. It's like very fine line work. And I mean, we at the company are very impressed because we know just the
we love
building
it.
process. So it's,
And we've definitely seen some designs that do, and like, let's do a run of that. Like that's really cool.
yeah.
I wanted the ultimate goat gun collection. How many different models have you guys have out there?
Oh boy, with skins and all, if I remember correctly, it's like just sub like 90. And some of those original, like this run right here, was 25. So this was one of the members of our group. His name is Gun Ink Designs, and he does custom paint on real firearms, but also goat guns. He did 25 of these for us in this like zombie edition, like blood splatter custom paint camo that he did. And there's a few guys like him that are just incredible with their paint work on these things, and they look like they're straight from the factory like that. It's incredible. But
I
like that
remember
gun,
when that model was mine.
well,
And then
yeah.
you took it from me.
Well, then we broke it. Yeah. And unfortunately, me and Andrew, when we first started getting some of these like older limiteds, we film. So we like use these like rough and like so one of our biggest videos to date are shoving paintballs into goat guns. Like we fake it, but like we pretend that we're loading a paintball into it and that the gun blows up with paintball. But we did it with this gun, and it's like a goo effect, and we sealed all the different parts because the goo like
Oh yeah.
so it's like this model's probably like $1,000+ now, and it's got cake all through it with this like green goop in it. We didn't quite realize the
Now it's 3,000.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, listen, I would not doubt it if like, it was on a video that got 50 million views.
Yeah.
It's
got Chase's custom goo on it.
For really limited editions like that, like how do you guys handle a launch or a drop? Like are they just gone right away, or is there
so we do try to announce like yesterday, we like the best example would be like, so we launched the SWAT AR-15 at 11 Eastern. That's when we always do our drops on Tuesday. And with it, sometimes we'll have some refurbished like sales. And so they're getting we had like 150 refurbished units go in 2 minutes. So like sometimes it happens like that. We had like a Dear John model that we released about 2 months ago.
Yep.
Yeah. And so and
that was that was good.
I was like, oh, so somebody left the guy? Or
yeah.
It's
It's
girlfriend
like,
took it? Like what?
and so like that model was gone in like 18 hours, and that was 600 units. So like there are some runs that just like drop and go. There's some runs that like, take a week or two to kind of sell through. But yeah, we try to announce it like a day ahead of time, like tonight. Anthony, one of our other guys, like he's probably the face of our company on the addict side. He was a rabid GoatGuns addict before joining the company, and now he's like our head over wholesale and definitely like the face of like the addicts. Like he customizes and everything. So he always does like a podcast or like a live stream to like announce like what we're dropping and kind of give people some heads up. So he'll build the new Halloween edition tonight. I don't know if he's going to announce our influencer edition tonight. We've got a limited edition influencer one, our first try. I don't know if he's announcing that tonight, but that should go live this week. And so, yeah, he just tries to give people a little bit of a heads up about what's to come in case they're trying to get on top of it so they don't miss out.
Is that with the person we talked about?
This is with a different guy. This is with a guy who's more notably known for pranks, and his most popular gun he carries around would be a Barrett 50 cal. would be the most. But he's been doing YouTube. This guy is a YouTuber. He's been doing YouTube for probably about 20 years now. So yeah, it should be pretty exciting.
Well, this won't come out for about 3 weeks, so if you guys want to,
Yeah.
you can.
Okay. It's gonna be Roman Atwood is who
I was gonna have him guess.
is who we're dealing with. Well,
Yeah.
you know, you kind of go down that line. He's not really a
know.
gun
Hey,
guy.
can I
That's
put it
true,
out
that's
right
true.
now? Hey,
Yeah,
everybody.
like hey, he's been awesome to work with. And so there's our first like dipping our toes into like going with someone else's brand on our guns for a custom. So who knows? We'll see how this does. We like Roman a lot, so it should be pretty fun at the very end of the day. But yeah, so we've always got a lot coming out. I think
was
it's
thinking
been
you were going to say like you're making the AK-50 with Brandon or something.
listen,
Man.
we have had a couple. We
That's
had
the
2
dream.
guys build AK-50s out of GoatGuns so far, and so they really. Now we have worked with Brandon way back, so that had been kind of like in the Leviathan days. Like he, this was again before me and Andrew. He had done something ad wise with GoatGuns, or maybe it was just on his channel. But yeah, I could at some point again, if this goes well with Roman, I could easily see it kind of rolling into other brands as we get going. You know, it becomes a little harder when the model itself is custom. With like obviously an AK-50 being like a completely different gun from what we offer. It's a lot simpler if it's just custom paint work or something like that.
Brandon, in any of your like World War I or World War II videos, or was it like Donut Operator and Grand?
He was in Corridor's video. Yeah. So Donut Operator was, Grand Thumb was,
Like
Brandon
admin
was.
results.
Yes. Yep. You
Was
got it.
Kentucky
Yeah.
Ballistics in there too?
Yes, yeah, and they even made fun of his explosion.
neck wound.
Yeah. I think he died in the video with a neck wound or something. So
Hilarious.
it was a pretty good. They did pretty good. Like, you know, but we'll hope to like one up them next time we get it back out to the big cinema field.
Mini Vietnam, guys. It's coming up.
Mini Vietnam.
Sounds awesome.
To the chopper.
Man, this guy.
Yeah.
Listen, when. Just know when we have a M60, we will be recreating Rambo First Blood Part 2. Getting into
Which one of you guys are going to be Rambo?
It'll be
Take a
Andrew.
guess.
No. Yeah. I mean, I see the guns over there, so you know.
Hey, he does.
Sun's out, guns
A
out.
lot of pressure, but also like which Rambo? Like, are you gonna be like First Blood Rambo or like later on? Because like you went from like
juice.
you went from like super juice to like
Listen,
Chase
Chase is
naturally enhanced by working out and eating right.
I always appreciate Chase because I can just take him and throw him in front of the camera and he'll just go off and he'll just be a character. Right. I'm more comfortable behind the camera. I like to, I like to control the camera. But Chase, he is a character. He's a, as the addicts would say, a Hollywood actor. So usually if we're doing any type of character, I'm just like, dress Chase up as John Wick.
Yeah.
That's gonna do.
Well, to be fair, I a couple of years ago I had like shoulder, like
That's true.
chest length hair, so like I was more fitting for those roles at that time. So I don't know anymore if I fit.
Okay, you don't have to be super juice Rambo. You can be homeless walking through the streets Rambo. Okay.
Hey, listen,
That's a great video idea.
Trust me, if that would be. With a little gun, I can be shriveled Rambo.
Shriveled Rambo.
It really can be good. I'm Rambo off the juice, and this is what happens to my guns. They
Everything's
actually
been shrinked.
Yeah.
I swear it's cold out here. Don't you understand?
Perfect. Steve, what else you got?
Have you guys run into any designs that like you thought it would be pretty straightforward and like you ran into complications that you didn't even think about? And then also like for your engineers, your designers, like coming from our student side, like does having a really good understanding of firearms mechanics help them out?
Yes, especially in the early going, like while they're getting it all together. Like I feel like that's maybe been a shortcoming in the past where something wasn't quite understood, so we didn't have the capabilities of like adding it into a model. And now we've been 7 years into this, and they're starting to see like, oh, people, we want to be the model that's as close to as accurate as possible without owning a MCX, like without owning a Barrett 50 cal. I don't have 12 grand to spend, but I can spend $60 and I can have it, and it functions and looks and feels pretty darn close to it. So yes, having that knowledge we see is, it just makes sense. It's, how a gun operates, how a gun works. It just makes more sense. Your brain can wrap around how to create it, even to the scale. And now, what was the first?
Well, the thing about like having something be more complicated, like in manufacturing, is I don't know if we run into that per se, but we've had situations where, like say if we're doing a skinned gun, the art will have an error on it. But what's interesting is that that model will be higher value later in time, because it's like something that will happen that's a mess up, and then we fix it. But then there's only 5 models with that error in it.
Error, yeah.
And then people
that becomes a collectible. Like,
yes, exactly. They're like, does yours have that slanted line on it?
I see you guys are going. You're gonna purposely make a little mistake. Like, oh,
Yeah.
this one's very rare.
Yeah.
Oh, what we didn't mean for that to happen.
What?
That's $500 now.
We accidentally made the MP5.
Yeah. Listen, we'll get those questions till the end of time. When's the MP5 coming out? When's the Glock coming out? I think like the most like issues we have is in like making sure we get things accurate to what the manufacturer wants. Because sometimes that lags the process, where we think we're done, we've got the model ready to be mass produced, and then it's a color, it's an optic, it's a numbering on the side that will set us back. I mean, one of them set us back 8 months for like a little color change. And so, those little things, when you think you're going to have, we've had 3 new models this year, which may be like a record for us, which is crazy, but 3 brand new models this year, which is the SCG, the M17, and the skeletonized AR. But, originally we thought maybe we were going to have 5 models this year, but, little things, hiccups here, and it pushes that process out from, what we were told 24 months to, okay, it's going to be another 6 months. Okay, well.
Do you guys have like a dream list of like guns you want to make, but for whatever reason, just haven't been able to make? Like either a manufacturer says no, or just scaling down isn't possible, and you're still trying to figure it out.
Andrew, you can say I already know what your kind of go-to dream is.
I want a revolver. Because I want to make some Wild West stuff. I would love to make some Western videos.
Do you have any lever actions?
So this is the other one we want. Yeah. So
it's another one.
So we love Western stuff. So we have no Western guns yet. We have no really like that era or before guns. Our earliest models like a 1911, like from the early 1900s, and then into like the M1 Grand and stuff like that. But
a lot of these new modern lever actions are getting, you can put AR mags in them. That could be a cool way to go too.
Well, yeah, we've several years back, I know we were kind of in early talks with Henry, and then for whatever reason, I think with what all we had in the pipeline, we just couldn't make it work. But that would be incredible, and would be like one of the most fun fidget ones that you could have, especially like with the smooth lever kickback and shell eject in that.
Because that's another thing we have to think about, is just the fidget aspect, and how enough moving parts to make them fun to play with and fidget around with, which would the revolver, that would be incredible, right? Like
your guys' passion for film, like, are you making any guns like from movies as well?
So that's
you stole my question.
Yeah,
I would imagine like on top of licensing from the manufacturer, that probably has to be another licensing nightmare.
And so there is a huge block for us. Is they will have guns and people dying and everything, but they don't want to be associated with a physical product gun. And even if it's like a ray gun or a blaster, like a pulse rifle. It's just like, for whatever reason, it's very scary right now. Now, who's to say that that always is the case as these become more popular and get into more people's hands? But yeah, I mean, we'd love to do like movie licensed weapons, and
Master Chief.
Yeah. Oh my
thank you.
gosh.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, I mean,
so this is what I was gonna say, because you said Post Malone was a huge fan. Post Malone is also a huge Apex Legends guy. You guys did an awesome video on Apex Legends. I was like, if you make like a couple of the guns there, like an R9, like
yeah, R301 would be
R301,
would go so hard, because again, that's pretty realistic gun, as far as kind of what it is, kind of vector-esque, you know. So we would love to, but it's just like, for whatever reason, just this stigma. I mean, these are like, how many models do these companies release of their characters holding guns? You know, I mean, like all these things, your entire franchise is shooting people in these games, but I can't have a desktop model of my Master Chief, you know, like, you know,
Right now,
holding.
what we do is just have very heavily inspired guns. You know, like the
Yeah.
Donk Buster, right?
Yeah,
Stuff like
yeah.
that. So where it's very heavily inspired. So it's kind of like a sweet spot.
You would
'Cause
think though, like with like that figurine world, or like it would just make sense.
I mean, you know, I think as we continue to get more and more models that are in more and more movies, we'll continue. I mean, we won't stop. We'll continue to reach out, um, because it just, especially in our brains and what Andrew and I are capable of, we can make this look like it's straight out of the movies for your distribution or your marketing, however you want to do it. And then you get, you know, your little kickback incentive on top of it for doing nothing other than just licensing it out. And people then get to own a really cool piece from the movie. You know, how cool would it be to have the lever action shotgun from Terminator 2? Like, it would be, you know, if you had the carry minigun from Predator, if you had, there's a ton of movie and franchise. Yeah, Needler from Halo would just be incredible, you know.
yeah.
And like that doesn't even look like a gun. It's, you know, it's got purple, you know, pearlescent
Is
crystals
that
coming.
that's a gun? I didn't know.
So I asked you
Yeah,
about your
yeah.
dream gun list. Has there been a gun that started as a joke that then turned into reality, or is like, oh, maybe we should turn that into reality?
There are ones in creation currently. Yes.
Nice.
Yes. Yeah. There are some in the pipeline. So yeah, we joke about it, and then we find some that looks like, we're like, that's pretty similar, but it's not the same. Like, and so we're just, again, we just try our best to like make it our own, but make it like enough that hopefully people can appreciate it and it doesn't step on too many toes. So
Yeah, and GoatGuns has done, you know, GoatGuns is all about the whole tagline is have a little fun. So they've done things that are not guns, like mini toilet paper rolls, things like that are just, it's completely different, but it's just for the fun of it, right? Like we for April Fools last year, we announced the Saw, which is a mini chainsaw. It's just a small chainsaw. And we were like, man, how funny would it be to actually run a limited series of mini chainsaws? Um, so there are things that we do that are kind of, they're just quirky, but I guess not often, but we're able to have fun when we can.
Tell everybody where we can buy Goat Guns, see Goat Guns, all that.
So GoatGuns.com, obviously going to be the quickest, easiest way for you to get full access to our library of different models, attachments, and accessories. We have a ton of wholesale vendors. We actually, by the end of this week, you'll see us in your local Bass Pro.
Nice.
So that was a large dealer that we are now in, and so we're pretty excited about that. So if you have a Bass Pro local to you, Shields, Dunham's up north, we've got a lot of large, and then a lot of small. Your local gun shop, most of them will carry us, and they don't. They should definitely reach out because our wholesale program is awesome. It'll definitely help them out. So especially if any of your students are ever hoping to run a gun shop or something, and they're gonna have brick and mortar, our wholesale program is incredible for keeping the doors open.
Do they find that on the website, or is there somebody they can email?
There is a wholesale email on the website, and reach out there, or feel free to always reach out to any of our socials. Andrew, myself run them all, so we'll get you pointed in the right direction. And again, it's a great way to keep the doors open and have a fun little object to go along with other purchases that may happen in your shop. So,
and we can follow up later, but we have a partner program for students to get access to, you know, dealer opportunities like that. I mean, here's an invite. If you guys want to do it, I'll be glad to put you on there.
that would be awesome. We'd be happy to, we'd be happy to follow up and hook you up with Anthony, who runs that whole program. Him and Alan do an incredible job. Yeah.
Well, Andrew, Chase, thank you for your time. When I saw you guys at the booth, or I saw Chase at the booth, I was like, this is the coolest stuff. I'll just say stuff, since we're an educational podcast, that I've ever seen. And you guys were swarmed. I was like, I gotta get
that's a
these guys
trend.
on here.
That's a trend.
And that's standard at these shows, and that's kind of our whole company. We keep high energy. We literally, like, our models have a little fun. We have a lot of fun every day. We go into work, we get to make fun ads, we get to sell an incredibly fun item, and to see people just enjoy it and pick it up and, realize what they're holding. Like, oh, there's some craftsmanship here. It's heavy. It's just, it's a real blessing for us to be in the spot that we're in. So,
yeah, I was in that boat. Like, when I first saw GoatGuns years and years ago, I was like, why? Like, who needs it? Until you pick one up and you're like, okay,
Yep.
I get it.
And that's one of the hardest jobs for Chase and I is on the ad team, is how to really portray that to people who are browsing on Facebook. Like, because everyone who, they might see a goat gun, they're like, that's probably made out of plastic, but it's not. So we're really trying to hone in on the heavy aspect of it.
Yeah. Hit the Facebook Addicts, GoatGuns Addicts Facebook group, and then hit the subreddit. Subreddit has a lot of cool stuff on there.
Yeah.
It'll give you that real deal feel. I was looking at pictures and collections. You have like pegboard walls full of goat guns. You've got racks full of goat guns, custom goat guns that they've worked on.
We've got
crazy.
members with 400 or 500 goat guns and then their own personal collection. So it be careful. It's a slippery slope. It is like any collectible you get going, and it's a ton of fun. Especially if you've got kids, it's an awesome way to kind of show them around a gun for the first time, or just have a fun thing to build together. So,
guys, appreciate you both joining us here today and sharing the story about GoatGuns and what you're doing. Last question for me is, like, what's your personal favorite that you own?
Oh, man. So my personal favorite goat gun has always been the MCX. I just love it. It's super solid. And some of my favorite for goat guns is just how durable it is, because we film with them a lot. The MCX is very durable. It feels good. It looks good. So I think I'll say the MCX.
If I'm showing someone a goat gun for the first time, it's gonna be the RPK, because it weighs like a pound, and it just literally I hand it to them and it almost falls out of their hand every time, because they're expecting it to be like an ounce or two, and it like literally about rips your hand off. I love that. It cycles rounds. It just looks cool. But if I'm going to fidget with one, 1911 for sure.
Yeah,
it's so smooth. Like, you can rack it all day long. The bullets really eject, so it's a really fun fidget piece to have on your desk or around. You can have Punisher.
There she is.
Punisher around. So yeah,
that was mine too.
Well,
you guys make an RPG?
It's a good thing Andrew doesn't hold grudges.
When I get the models, I'll do my video work with them, and then I'll hand them off to Chase for him to do his video work with them, and then they stay there. But that's fine.
So we do make an RPG. The RPG does actually launch the little rocket, so it's one of the few things. But this one actually, I want that one. And this one still has like the actual wood parts to it on the back tube. So yeah, pretty cool, you know, triggers. I mean, they're mega fidgety. So
I'm
tons
going to
of
Shields
fun.
today. I'm going to
Hey,
Shields.
hey,
Grab a
hey,
couple
listen,
so I can put back here.
Shills has them. Shills has them for sure.
All right, guys. Well, thank you both. If you're curious about our programs
you.
here at SDI, go to sdi.edu today, hit request information, talk to an admissions rep, go through the process, get your questions answered. If you don't know what that process is like, click on the next video. We did an admissions episode. You'll get all your questions answered there. But for Steve, I've been Christian. Andrew Chase, thanks again. That's been the
Thank
Gun
you,
Rec.
guys.
Everybody, wave bye.
See ya.